So in this video, I want to talk about reasons why people paint or reasons why people become artists. And this is not something that I understood until I started to teach it. So let me just explain what I mean is when I first started teaching, I was painting portraits at the time and I was kind of burnt out on painting portraits, but I decided I was going to write a book on how to paint in oil. And so I taught my very first class, and this was just really a class that I was teaching. This is like back in 2001, I think, in order for me to get some feedback on writing this book on how to paint in oil. Anyway, so I had no idea what I was getting into, because what happened was after the class was over, this is a couple months later, the class decided to have this, have a party, and everybody was going to bring their paintings. And when I got there, one of the husbands of one of my students pulled me into a side room, and he said that he had something to tell me. And he was explaining to me that his wife had traveled all over the world and had been seeking treatment for depression, and that it had been a real struggle, and this had gone on for many, many years, I think even decades. And he said that in the last couple months that she had changed and become a totally different person, and that he had me to thank for teaching her to paint. And so I was, I had no idea that I was really getting into that, world of psychiatry and helping people and everything else. But I think, over the years as I've been teaching on YouTube, I've had hundreds of emails from people all over the world, telling me what a massive difference it's made in their life, being able to paint and being able to create. Now, I think that that's something that if you look at just the human species, you can see that in our history we are creatures that have this need to create. Every piece of pottery, we're putting a design on it. Now, this is something that I don't really understand completely, but I think that it has to do with, number one, being creative and doing things that are creative and creating things that have never existed before. But part of it is the struggle of painting. In other words, I'm always talking about painting your masterpieces, and you'll certainly struggle when you do that. You'll have false starts, you'll decide you don't like it, you'll change course, you go to bed frustrated, and all you can do is think about your painting and all the problems and the things you don't like about it. But that's part of the deal, and when you finally finish your painting, it's this joy of, accomplish something. But it's more than that. Artists have, when you finish a painting that's a beautiful painting, people are going to want it. I had a student that was into pottery before he took my class, and he told me that what they don't tell you about being a potter is what do you do with all the pots. And he was saying that his garage was just filling up with pots because, and nobody wants them. But it's different with painting. If you paint a beautiful little painting, people will love it. And they'll, even relatives, will fight over those paintings. So painting beautiful paintings that you're going to give to somebody that's going to be something that they're going to love is a big part of it, but it's, beautifying the world. We take this all for granted because we see so much art all around us. But if you try to imagine a world without art, and I saw a documentary many years ago about these children during World War II. They were in a Nazi camp, and this was a camp that the Red Cross would come and see and inspect, and so they made it really nice for the children, and they were able to do art, and children's art was all over the walls, and there was color everywhere. And then the camp changed, and there was no more Red Cross coming, so they changed it to be like all the others, and they took away the art. They wouldn't allow the children to do art. The walls were painted gray, and these people who survived that, and these were old women at this point, were describing this horror of the day that the art disappeared from the walls. And they used to take a burnt stick and would get under their mattresses and create art on the bottom of the mattress because they had such a desire to do it. And so I think that, we take it for granted because all around us and on our TVs and on our phones and tablets, we see art everywhere. But I just believe that art for some people, maybe not for all certainly, but for many people, art can be something that can really change your life. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in taking a class from me, either here in Austin or on Zoom, just email mark@drawmixpaint.com and I'll give you all the information about my classes. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.